This video was recorded in front of a live virtual audience. Hi everybody, Dacob here. Welcome back to the Fashion Bunker. What an interesting topic today. Top 5 female perfumes for men. What could that be? Before we get to it, for those of you who haven't yet subscribed to my channel, please do so. Push that subscription button. Subscribe now if you haven't already, but do like my content and are a returning viewer. You could also push the join button next to the subscription button and become a member of my YouTube channel as well and get special extra perks. You can also join me on Patreon, Super Dacob, all spelled together there as well. I would like to take this opportunity to thank my patrons and my members for pledging already. And I would also like to take this opportunity to thank my live co-chatters who are in the chat section right now, because this video is being filmed live in front of a virtual live studio audience. So thank you to all my chatters. I shall be reading your chats in just a second. 5 female perfumes for the man. Let me ask you a question first, okay? Checks it out, you guys. We got Womanity and Sauvage. Might I ask you, what is the difference between these two? What's the difference between them? Can anybody in the chat let me know? What do you guys think is the difference between these two perfumes? Womanity by Thierry Mugler, Eau de Parfum. Sauvage by Christian Dior, Parfum. Emilia says, sugar in a bottle. Brandon says, gender roles. Lie to Me says, sexism. Lori says, marketing. Ergastiri Petra says, pink for women, black for men. Amina says, difference is how it is marketed. Audrey says, marketing. Aisha says, being aimed at men or women. Mr. Philip Fabulous says, pink is for girls, blue is for boys. Brandon says, society's forced imagery. Emilio says, gender marketing. Olfactive Story says, supposed to embody femininity on one side, masculinity on the other side. Emilia says, forced ideologies, backwards thinking. Letty says, marketing psychology. Melly says, gender. You guys, interesting topics, huh? Interesting to kind of take these two and figure out what the differences are between them. And of course, I'm not just talking about the different ingredients, the smell of fig and the smell of elemi. You kind of nailed it. Marketing psychology. Brendan says, this is deep. Debbie says, I knew it was going this way. Lori says, if the liquid in Womanity was black, then what? Who? Brendan says, that was a deep question. Melly says, panty dropper, male versus woman. Well, top 5 perfumes. Then Gaga is crazy, huh? Panty dropper, cha. Top 5 perfumes for women that men can use. Hate to break it to you. I know you all clicked on this video because you thought, you're probably a guy who wants to know which perfume you're allowed to wear that's marketed to women. There is no difference. Just marketing. Hate to break it to you. I can't give you a list of 5 for women that men can wear because guess what? Men can wear anything they want. Women can wear anything they want. Perfumes do not have a gender. You're going to be like, you're trolling us now. Yeah, for a reason, because we got to learn something. Don't fall for the marketing ploys. Don't fall for what your sales associates in the stores tell you. Don't fall for advertising campaigns. They're all made to brainwash you to buy something that the brands want you to buy. And they want you to feel extra special, comfortable while you're giving your hard-earned cash to them by telling you, It's okay. It's okay. You can buy this because it is for men. Don't you worry. Nobody's going to judge you. Nobody's going to tell you that you're a sissy boy because you bought this perfume because it's for men. No. In fact, reason why I took these two perfumes as examples, as extremes, to show you how flawed the system is. Womanity flopped as a perfume because it was over-marketed to women. They're overhyped, almost segregation type of style of representing women in the way that they did the promotion for this made a lot of women not want to even smell it. Made the men super scared because it's like a perfume called Womanity. I'm too male for that shit. Sales did not go well for this one, and it's now practically discontinued because of its dreadful marketing, over-aimed to women instead of just releasing it as a unisex instead. Opposite extreme, Sauvage. Dreadful, dreadful first advertisement for this one. In their thought, they thought, what is more male than calling it sauvage, like savage, and then like, let's show a Native American dancing around the fire and call it savage. From the perspective of owners of a brand that are white, that are then observing other cultures dancing and calling that savage. That's very male, white male dominant supremacy way of thinking. You own the world and you classify everything that's not as you savage. That's hyper masculine. You see, this one is literally the opposite extreme of this one. And they're both wrong. In fact, they took down the advertisement campaign. They changed. Oh, they were very quick when those critiques started pouring in. Johnny was all alone in that desert. All of a sudden, there was no dancing around the fires or nothing. It's just him now sitting all alone in the desert, being like, "Sauvage, the call of the wild." Now he's like, "Where am I? I'm in the desert." Like, ah. And everyone's like, "So yeah, well, well, it's a famous face." Don't fall for it. Do not fall for it. Try to close your eyes. On strips, spray different perfumes on each strip, and then with your eyes closed without knowing what perfume is what, smell them and feel which one you like the most. Let somebody else spray it on your skin without you seeing what bottle they're spraying it from, and try to figure out what smells the best to you. And that's the perfume that you should wear. Don't fall for marketing ploys. Don't fall for... Because nobody in nature, nothing tells you that a rose is a flower that's only to be used in female perfumes, and plum is an ingredient to be used in male perfumes. It's not. There's no distinction. There's no distinction. Same applies to colors. As I said, in ancient time, well, not even that ancient, we're talking about Louis XIV, baby pink was the color for boys and baby blue for girls. And then the perception of it changed, fashion changed, the manipulation of marketing and consumption changed. So all of a sudden, pink is for girls and blue is for boys. It wasn't like this hundreds of years ago. It was the other way around. And it's going to swap and switch again as time evolves, as society evolves, as our consumer tendencies evolve. Have you noticed that in the past few years, pink hoodies and crew necks and baby rose and pink have become much more worn by the hipster guys or the hype beast guys? It's all about the pastel-y colors for the dudes nowadays. Things are moving, shifting. And so should perfumery and perfumes. The companies think they can sell more if they categorize them, target it to you and saying, you're a guy, it's okay, buy this. They think more men are going to buy than if they sell this as a unisex. If they sell it as a unisex, a lot of guys, because they're already conditioned by brand marketing for the past years, a lot of guys are going to be conditioned that are not going to want to buy it because they're going to say, if it's unisex, it's too feminine for me already. I'm a real man. I'm a man. I'm not gay. And they thought, with Womanity, they thought, well, if we target this to women and it's built by women and marketed by women, I'm like, still, guys constructed this perfume. You're just using women to sell it. It's not going to work. It's going to backfire at you. And it did. And it did. It's one of the rare Thierry Mugler fragrances that are practically discontinued. One of the rare mass-released ones that are not doing that well. Even though it's Thierry's best perfume in terms of smell. If you only would give it a chance and smell it for what it is without knowing all the brand marketing that went behind it, that really messed with the potential success of this one. Because the bottle alone, it's worthy of everything. Opulence. It really is. It really is, you guys. So that's something to note. Don't be afraid to smell something even though a brand puts for women on it or for men on it. Don't care about that. Smell what's in front of you. Feel the smell it, sense it, absorb it. Do you like how it smells on you? If you do, well then it's okay. Don't worry about the label. You're not wearing the label. You're wearing the perfume. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me read your chats. Audrey says, it would be so interesting if all perfumes came in the same bottles. Would men gravitate naturally to wearing the feminine scents? Feminine scents, yeah. Any perfume is for everyone, says Melly. Paul Parker says, yeah, I stopped like 15 years ago. Brendan is clapping. Candy Fluff says, Dacob getting all subversive. Awesome. Melly says, I argue every day about this topic. Brendan says, fight for your right to partay. It's okay, you are still a man, says Mr. Philip Fabulous. Lie to me when one says, whoa. Brendan says, Dacob getting really real. Candy Fluff says, can we send this to nail polish person, please? Oh, thank you, Siley. Thank you for subscribing. Georgina Monshine says to Brandon, said, every perfume ever made. Yay. Audrey Jane says, we know no perfume genders on this channel. Melly says, that's right, Audrey. Olfactive Story says, when I buy secondhand fragrances from men, they're often puzzled because they're like, you're a chick. Why are you buying? Aisha says, maybe that's where oud perfumes have filled the gap for men to feel comfortable. That's a good point. Maybe, yeah. Audrey says, I have still never tried Womanity. Worth a purchase? Audrey, it's just the best perfume. It's just the best perfume Thierry Mugler made. And yeah, you can check out my review of it on my channel. To me, it's worth a purchase. Definitely worth a try. Having, Candy says, having Johnny Depp as the face of Sauvage does not help things either. Poor Johnny. Paul says, I have a unisex oud, but it leans way more on the feminine side. What does that even mean, Paul? How can it lean? It's an oud. Womanity is a masterpiece, Audrey. Definitely worth a try, says Emilio. Audrey Jane says, that impression. Aisha says, yes, Georgina Brandon nailed it with that comment. Even the name for me is awful. It echoes Bon Sauvage in French. Marketing error again. Brandon says, I love our community. I feel so safe here. Rado says, I was going to say, plot twist. They are all the same. They are. Paul says, I wear scents I wouldn't have dreamed of wearing 20 years ago. Good for you, Paul. Open up that mind and that olfactive world, which is infinite. You safe here, Brendan Darlin, says Melly. Come to mama. Perfume is magical, says Brendan. Brendan says, fragrance is an art and form of magic. And rose for men and lavender for women, says Emilio. Paul says, the programming changed. Yeah, the mental programming that they tried to trick you. Aisha says, it's a shame that oud has been oversaturated in perfumes. It's very highly respected and revered in the East, almost sacred. Brendan says, blue for girls, pink for boys. Brendan says, rainbow for all. We are such a diverse group of people in this community. Really something to celebrate. Cheers to that, sweetie. Drink it from my rainbow glass. To you. I love pink. Please make pink things so I can buy them, Lucas says. I made a gorgeous pink hoodie for Halloween with a psychedelic rainbow pumpkin on it. Remember that one? It was a limited edition though. It's gone now. Just tells me masculinity is actually very fragile. Ah, of course it is. Candy Fluff. Biggest proof that masculinity is very, very fragile. You know how easy it is to from something stiff to just go like that? That just shows you how fragile it is. Yeah, because pink is the softer color of red, strong, passionate, aggressive, and for girls, blue is soft and gentle like water in the sky, says Mr. Philip Fabulous. Brendan says, Eau de Cologne, such a Florida water, or 4711 are the most unisex fragrances ever. Debbie says, the best way I have persuaded people is by asking them if a smell has a gender. They cannot disagree with this. Melanie says, a co-worker loves number 5, but won't wear it because he is a guy. It's insane. Olfactive Story says, so true, Candy Fluff. Val says, oh, it is Candy Fluff. Candy Fluff, yeah. Brandon said, tell him to wear every last drop. God gave us a nose to smell and we shall use it. Olfactive Story says, people reasoning like that have an issue with their own identity. Brandon says, Mother Nature gave us senses. Melly says, that was a quickie, LOL. Couldn't even handle it. Imagine if Mugler made a perfume called Masculinity. Yeah, I can imagine, and it's what I imagine ain't good. Olfactive Story says, I love men being confident enough to wear women perfumes. Amelia says, Masculinity. Fragile edition. LOL. Amina says, toothpaste for men or women. It sounds so ridiculous, right? Why would it be different for perfumes and colors? Yeah, Amina, but they do the same with deodorants. They do the same with body lotions, body creams, body potions. They just package the same cream in a pink container, make it cost double because women spend more money because they've been educated by the brands, by consumer society. They've been educated to spend more money for their beauty because they've been trained to believe that they need to maintain the youthfulness, and youth is the most important thing in your world. The only reason why they make you believe that is because they want you to keep buying their products to keep you youthful, which you know doesn't work because you're gonna get old sooner or later. You're gonna get wrinkles. You're gonna kick the bucket sooner or later. You can spend all the money in the world you want. You ain't gonna live forever. Otherwise, people as rich as, the Apple dude or what have you, the people who could afford to have billions, why did they die? What do you think? Because there is no elixir for eternal life. There is no elixir for that. So yes, you're going to pay more for your pink for women packaged body cream. The same body cream for men packaged in a more simple packaging, blue, whatever, is going to cost less because men spend less money on beauty. Now the brands are, because they want to make more profits off of men, now they're educating slowly the man more and more into believing that he needs to use 50 creams a day on his face to do this, to do that. They're educating the men to spend more money. They're just educating the consumer. Same type of education, you guys, happens at supermarkets. Have you noticed since a couple of years in supermarkets, when you're at the cash register, now they have these self-checkouts? First of all, supermarkets have people that they pay at the cash registers. It's their job. You give a person a job. They have a job. But now, the supermarkets, they want to save money. They don't want to give people jobs. They want to re-educate you, the consumer, to check yourself out so they don't have to pay their workers and you do the work for them for free. They're educating you to do it for free. They say, oh, it's easy, let me help you. They're teaching you. At the beginning, there's people at the self-checkout say, oh, come here, let me show you how this is done. It's super easy. Let me show you. They show you 4 or 5 times. On the 6th time, you're doing it on yourself. They're not paying them. They fire all the workers. All the people lose their jobs. You're checking out yourself for something that people used to be paid for to do. So this is what Dacob does when they try to do that shtick on me. Here, you want to check yourself out? I'm like, are you going to pay me to do it? They look at me like, what do you mean? I'm like, well, there's somebody paid at the cash register to do this. You want to teach me to do it for free? You're not paying me, and that person is going to lose their job because you're going to educate me to do it for them. And by the way, you're going to lose your job too, because they're not going to need you to teach the customers sooner or later anymore how to do the self-checkout, because everybody's going to do it on their own. So are you going to pay me to check myself out? You're not? Well then, go sit at the cash register and let's do the payment there. Same applies to creams, beauty products, lotions, and potions targeted to men or to women. They educate you to spend the money the way they want you to spend the money. Be stronger than that. We is woke. Anyway, at this point, the masses are taught how should a feminine and masculine scent smell like. So I think certain notes would be classified as masculine and other as feminine, Mr. Philip Fabulous says. Yes, exactly. They teach you, they program you, they brainwash you to think that smell smells feminine, that smell smells masculine. Okay, so it's insane. Lori says, Audrey, I got Womanity at a great price and it's lovely. Letty says, I'm a woman and I wear Gentleman by Givenchy and Pour Monsieur by Chanel and love them. Oh, Pour Monsieur, darling. Letty. Brendan says, Sauvage smells so sexy. The pure perfume, I love it. Dacob, do you mix fragrances? Yes, Diego, I do. I do. Rara says, number 5 Parfum settled on the skin, smells like you've bathed with a good sandalwood soap to me. Melly says, Free Your Mind song comes to mind and Vogue. Antigone says, before Corona, I had this tradition with my dad that we go to the perfume shop and smell new perfumes. He loves female perfumes more than male. Emilia says, Alexa, play Free Your Mind by RuPaul. MK says, Sulfactive Stories. Exactly. I've never ever minded about wearing women prêt-à-porter, funky colors or feminine perfumes. Dudes and women who have been the harshest to me just happened to be gay. True. Nobody like a gay person to judge another gay person. Oh, the shade is real. The shade is real. Lucas is laughing. Mr. Philip Fabus says, burn. Diego says, Jeffree Star make me kind of dislike pink. Oh, you see? There it is. Just like... Because, of course, but that's an ugly shade of pink. He did not choose a beautiful, that's a really ugly shade of pink he has. But same like Mugler made us kind of hate this perfume because of the marketing, really bad marketing. Such a pity, such a gorgeous perfume. Because with pink, let me just go back to pink for a second. There are billions of shades of hues of pink. His is just... really ugly. Really ugly. It's not a pink I like at all. This video is a definition of open up for a surprise, says Lucas G. Surprise! Val says, I think in the last stream you mentioned Paco Rabanne's Olympia having similarities to Womanity, so I decided to test it yesterday at work and was quite shocked with the similarities. I didn't say it has similarities. Maybe somebody else did. There you go. Emilio said it. Emilio said, definitely inspired by woman. That Olympia was inspired by Womanity. Makes sense. I'm an art director, LOL, says Brandon. There you go. Oh, you're looking at Debbie's cupcakes. I have to see them later. Brandon says, tell him, Dacob. Amelia says, yeah, the fucking story says, in fact, razors for women are more expensive. They're pink. No other difference. I know. They just buy the regular unisex or male razors. They cost less. It's the same razor. They just want more money from you because they brainwash you to believe you need to buy the pink one. And because you're a woman, they know that they've already trained you decades prior to spend more money on your beauty products. So because they now confectioned it, packaged it for women, they're going to make you pay double for it too. Audrey says, I never thought of self-checkouts like that. Of course, Audrey. What do you think? What do you think? They're conditioning you, they're brainwashing you, manipulating you day by day, more and more. And it's just to maximize their profits. They're not doing it. They're like, oh, come self-checkout. It's quicker. No, it's not. It makes you earn more money. It doesn't say it makes me work for free. I often get the male marketed one because I can find more without that annoying strip. for the razor, no? Self-checkout honestly can save time. No, it cannot, Brendan. No, there's a queue at self-checkout too. No, don't think that way. They're brainwashed into thinking that way. And you know why it's quicker? Have you also noticed? Have you also noticed that of the 10 or 15 aisles of cash registers, there's only one or two people working at them, and everything else is self-checkout? So you think, of course it's quicker, self-check. Yeah, it's only quicker because they're not employing people to sit at the 10 cash registers that they have. They never fill them. There's enough clients to fill 10 cash registers to all be served. But no, they only occupy 2. So there's a huge line. So of course you're going to kind of be like, I'm going to go to self-checkout. Yeah, that's all already pre-strategically programmed and calculated for them to maximize profits and to make you do their job for them. Dacob giving us passion. Brandon says, my best friend Dottie wears men's fragrance better than I do. Brandon says, I went to a gay bar with my mom last night. Never felt so uncomfortable in my life. What does that have to do with the topic? I do not know, but don't you worry. It's a great thing that she actually went with you there. That's really cool. Olfactive Story says, I love dark pinks. I do too. And really fluffy, light, almost white pinks, like delicate baby pinks. Fragrance is universal, says Brandon. Rara says, I still haven't tried Womanity, but always loved the bottle. But yes, the ad copy was a turn-off. Self-checkout at the grocery store is never quicker because the machine always messes up. Always. It always does. On top of that, it always does. That does too. I hate how time is money in this society. Welcome to capitalism. Debbie says, self-checkouts. Something always goes wrong. Then an employee has to override the system. Yeah, I know. Terrible. Dacob, where do you live? Says Brendan. I live on planet Earth. Does it look like I'm in a flying saucer? I might be. You might be onto something. I fly over all of your houses, actually, at night while you're asleep in my flying saucer. No, Brendan, everywhere I travel, it's always the same. And actually, Brendan, I was talking, you want to know something? That example I made for you of the 10 cash registers that are closed, that's Walmart, my dear. That's Walmart, okay? Every single time I'm in Walmart, that's what happens. Every single time. Or, you know what else they do at Walmart, which is super fun? They're like, yeah, we're like 3 hours to closing time. And, some Walmarts are open 24/7. Depends which state you're in. And some close around 10 or midnight. But it's so funny. Even if they close at midnight, like you're there at 10 or at 9, and there's like only 2 cash registers. And they're like, yeah, we're closing soon. I'm like, you're closing in 3 hours. That's not soon. That's not soon. Self-checkout. Lori says, he flies over to check out our perfume collections and makes mental notes. I always make mental notes. That's how I get all these wonderful ideas for you guys for videos. But thank you so much for the chats. Thank you so much for the love, for sharing for the community. And thank you so much for an open mind, because perfumes know no gender. I always say it. I'm going to put that on a t-shirt. Perfumes know no gender. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you to my patrons and to my members and to my super chatters. This is for you. You are my co-producers, basically. This is kind of like the production people, the credits, the end roll credits. Thank you guys so much for helping the Fashion Bunker and supporting the Fashion Bunker. You too can become a member today. Push the subscription button, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And then next to the subscription button, there's the join button. Push that one and become a member today and get extra perks. You can also join me on Patreon, Super Dacob, all spelled together on Patreon, where you get to see the videos before they hit YouTube, and you get to see exclusive videos that never come to YouTube. Thank you to my co-chatters. Thank you so much. Here in the sidebar is all my chats. And thank you to you too, accidental viewer that perhaps just perchance happened to stumble upon this hidden secret fashion bunker in the midst of a plethora of YouTubeism, where everything seems to be lost until you find it one day. And once you find it, you better hold on to it, because you might lose it all over again. So thank you guys so much. Perfumes know no gender. It's as easy as that. I cannot reiterate it more enough. Subscribe to my Instagram if you wish. Super Dacob, all spelled together. You can also follow me on Twitter and Facebook. And you can also follow my two Chanel curated Instagram profiles. One is called Coco Chanel is in my house, all spelled together, dedicated to my Chanel collection and everything that has to do with the Chanel brand of today. You could also follow me on the Coco Chanel Privé Instagram profile, Coco Chanel Privé, all spelled together, where I post and talk about the life of Coco Chanel. Very fascinating because you get to see the woman in action. It's amazing. It's amazing to celebrate her life. So yeah, that will be it, you guys. Choose your perfumes wisely, but don't choose them according to brand marketing. Choose them according to how you like the smell and how you like the look of the bottle. And hey, maybe sometimes even the sound. Listen to humanity. Listen to the sounds. It is in our house now. Never forget to never give up on love. Love you all. See you soon. Take care. Bye.